Hey everybody, this is Mike Brown, and I want to welcome you to this week's episode of The Art of Letting Go. It's Women's History Month, and I wanted to bring on a friend, a fellow creative that I'm so inspired by, MaryGold. She is one of the freest creatives that I've ever met in my life, and we have a really dope conversation in store for y'all. While I have your attention, please be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you listen. Also, leave a review, leave a comment, and I would love to hear from y'all as well. If you look down in the description, there is a link to reach out to me. Send me some questions, send me some feedback, some love. I appreciate it all, and y'all enjoy the show. Yo, what up? This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go. Today, I have a special guest in the building. The first time we tried to do this, we didn't even hit record, but we had an amazing conversation. That might have been like one of our first conversations. I would say that you are the definition of, like, the true definition of a multi-hyphenated artist, creative, from music to painting to you do it all, and you do it all in such a free way. And yeah, I just felt like it was a good time to have a conversation with you. So everybody, welcome to the show, MaryGold.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I do some stuff. It's cool. Like, uh, I don't know if I'm good at everything I do but I push myself to do the things that I love.
And you give yourself the freedom to do it. So,
I
that's really
do.
dope.
It's so important.
How are you feeling
Ah,
today?
Today I'm feeling good. I started going to the gym early in the mornings, and it's really given me like the space to like think before entering into my day. So trying to be more intentional of like how I get started, especially with me wanting to accomplish so much. I have to give myself grace in order to do that, or the space to think things through, and also just kind of working on like my habits. Like changes need to be made. So yeah, like I'm in a good space right now. I think yeah, I'm in a really good space. I can't complain at all. For real, I can't complain.
That's what's up. And
Yeah.
it's funny you mentioned habits, because I feel like so actually this month I'm reading the book Atomic Habits.
Oh, nice.
But I'm really focusing on like just that routine, that morning routine, and even like adopting like a night routine of just like
Yeah.
how can I end my day to to prep my next day. And my morning routine has been really helpful, but I'm feeling like I need something else to like enforce, strengthening that. Yeah.
For sure. My nights are just chaotic. Like like such a blur.
Yeah.
So I need something to ground me to like you said, to kind of like finish off my night. So when I do wake up, it's even more intentional. Um versus putting all that stress on the morning. Cause there's so much stress that's like, gotta get my clothes together, gotta do this, gotta do that. It's just like, you could have did that last night.
Right.
But
I'm curious to
yeah.
know, like, what is how important do you feel routine is for like an artist or creative? Because when I was younger, I used to feel like having a routine would restrict me, and I like to be free. And like in this phase of my life, it's like that almost feels vital for me to even just get through my day.
Feel the same. I mean, I've felt the same way. Like routine, like that's I don't know. Who put that in your mind? Like what? Like I never like I grew up very unorganized too. Like my parents kind of like just let me kind of do whatever. Like so I didn't really like have a routine. I didn't have like the foundation that taught me that routines were important. So like and throughout my most of my creative life, I've never thought a routine was even necessary. I thought my unorganized life allowed me to create at a higher frequency. But now as I'm getting older and like more experience in my creative endeavors, like I realize a routine is just so much more helpful to sustain creativity. It's just like the crash and burn artist, you kind of you don't have to do that. You don't have to be that. You can, and I feel like the more healthy you are, the more right in your brain that you are, the more ideas flow and execution actually happens. Because I think with not having a routine, it's just like execution might happen every now and then. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the end goal you might not always get to the end. And I feel like because you're so in the I do whatever I want, it kind of just doesn't matter. And I think that yeah, you don't have to always follow through with the things that you start, and that's fine. But I feel like it's something that's so special about the process of execution. Like seeing a idea from the concept, the initial idea concept all the way to completion. And I feel like having routines, being organized, like setting goals throughout your week, that allows for that to happen. Um, and it's so much more fulfilling to be an artist when you're organized, when you have everything together in a sense. Not everything, because you never have anything together, but it just feels better. You feel better. You feel more, uh, I would say, like safe or in your creativity, or you feel more stable, like secure. I think routines give creative security. Um, because what else do you have as a creative? Like things happen, things don't happen, things go your way, things don't go your way. But as long as you have that consistent piece of like working towards something, I feel like that's always gonna give you results some way, somewhere down the line. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I feel like that's the only like thing that holds you to your creativity. Like, you have faith, right? Faith, but I feel like that routine plus faith is like a game changer.
that's so real.
Yeah.
Um, I'm curious because you mentioned things like going your way and not going your way. I'm curious to know, like, how do you like deal with the things that don't go your way?
Mm. When things don't go my way, I just shift. Like, I'm not a big control freak. Like, I don't, I don't like dwell in what I can control and what I can't. And I feel like, in a sense, that's kind of like my superpower. Um, and I think it's rooted in trauma, but But I feel like I am like the master of like when something doesn't go my way, I go another way. Like I figure out another way around it, or I put my energy into something that allows me what the no didn't allow me. Um
Yeah,
and there's a lot of like you talk about it all the time, like rejection or like things kind of just like you put so much hard work into a thing, and it doesn't mean that people are going to agree that your hard work deserves opportunity or whatever the case may be. Um, but those people have nothing to do with the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like you could create your own opportunities. I truly believe in creating your own opportunities. Like so when something doesn't go my way, I just create it. I create my own thing. Whatever that looks like. And what's so freeing about that is the what you are able to like manifest out of people telling you no might be it might feel better than what you thought that situation was going to give you. And I feel like a lot of times, especially as a creative, like when we look at working with brands, working with organizations, or even just saying like, you know what, I'm a let my creativity rest and go work a 9 to 5 or something like that. I feel like we fail to realize like how limiting that can be because we just need results, right? Like we just
yeah,
need something tangible. We just need to see the money flow in. We just need to know that something's going to happen. And under other people's like guidance or other organizations, brand guys or how things are set up, execution continuously happens, like, because it has to. So I feel like sometimes we see that and we marvel at it because in our own situations, like, things don't execute as fast. So it's kind of like this dopamine that happens, or this, like, at least I know here I'm gonna reach some goals, because like it there's no other way to like measure your progress, or your, what is it, your value, right? And I feel sometimes we get so caught up in that energy that we forget that, um or even that we lose sight of like our true purpose and what we're supposed to be doing. So I feel like, and we get in those situations and realize, dang, this is not what I wanted. But
Yeah.
because all of that, all of those, those things was positive, it keeps us, it holds us, because it's like, if I do another thing, like, then I won't get this, or I won't have healthcare. I won't, like, it's just like little things that it just like makes us so logical, like makes it so, like, make our dreams less realistic. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling, but I want to
But
say that
you making sense though, because I'm even looking at my own life and listening to you as I reflect, and it's like nobody's doing anything safe. Like having a job, pursuing your dreams, like none of it's
absolutely,
safe.
it's
And
not safe at all. Nothing's safe. But I think one gives you more false security than the other. And I feel like sometimes, because of that false security, we fail to believe in, if we did that for ourselves, like, how soon could we turn it around so we could get these things, but under our own, like, what makes us feel good, like what makes us happy, like, you know. And I don't know, like, I'm in a situation right now where it's just like, do I love what I do? Absolutely. I just don't love who I do it for. And it gets to the point where it's just like, I can do these things on my own, but there's the, like, the pros and cons that you have to weigh. Um, but I understand, like, I know how to treat people. Like, I know, like, or I feel like I could treat people better, or I feel like I could do more purposeful work. I feel like, where it's to the point where it's just like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing these things? Like, I could go out and do those things and be okay, but then it's just like, healthcare, rent,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
all, and it's just like, I think the real, like, the real thing is like, how do you silence that so you can go and live your purpose? Or like, what do you do to ignore that? Like, faith, of course, faith, right? But faith doesn't cancel out the little voice in the
Yeah.
back of your head, all the time. Um,
And I think it really requires giving yourself some grace too. Like, I think we have been
Absolutely.
programmed away for so long that like it might take us just as long to get out of that program. And so it's like while you figuring it out, like really giving yourself grace to like, yeah, this is my safety right now, but this safety is also giving me comfort to do, this other thing that I want to do. And I'm trying to find the balance in that, because I could be so one side or the other of like it has to
Yeah.
be this or it can't be that. And really trying to find my footing in it. Like, I haven't worked a traditional job in maybe like 2 years. And I feel open to one, but one that fits what I want to do right now. Like I can't just go to a job just to pay my bills, because it's like
Right.
that's gonna affect everything else that I have going on.
I 100% agree with you. And I feel like, why can't we let everything be a thing, like, at once? Like, it's okay if you want to go work 20 hours a week at a place that has organization, and then take the other hours and put it into things that you want to do to orchestrate the life that you want to live. My dad, he's a geologist, so he has a very logic brain. And when I was growing up, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And he was just like, just go be a geologist. Like, financially, you're going to be set. Like, and he was just like, through that, you're going to be able to do whatever you want. And I just couldn't get past go be a geologist,
That's
right?
real.
Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't get past that because it's like I could never see myself being that thing. Like, I don't resonate with it. It doesn't interest me at all. It's like I didn't hear the part of that is going to allow you to do whatever you want. And I feel like if I understood what he was trying to say, and maybe not even a geologist, I could have done that with anything, right?
Uh-huh.
I would have understood the message of what he was trying to tell me. It's just like, pretty much, I feel like he was telling me, you're going to have to sacrifice up front to get what you want. And there's no way around it.
It's James Woods, aka that yoga dude, with Feel Free to Feel Free. Did you pour yours yet? Pouring into yourself from whatever source you require to feel great, your best, amazing. Before you share, before you give all your energy, your time, you to others, pour up a big cup for yourself. Taking a deep inhale and a long, slow exhale. Just taking the time to relax the body and the mind. And be aware. Are you full? Have you poured into yourself? Are you conscious of the things you need? Are you receiving as much as you're giving? Aligning yourself with everything you need. I feel present, peace, calm. In a place where you can give and still have for yourself. And as always, feel free to feel free, and namaste. Peace.
But from people that I've studied, like, every great person that we look up to has a sacrificial story of what they had to do in order to be in the places that gave them the opportunity, that put them in a space where they can show up as the person they want to be 100% of the time. So it's just like, dang, like, that makes so much sense. So now as I move through life, of course, I understood the lesson later on down the line. It's just like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not super embedded in my work for this company because I understand that this is just like a start to get me where I want to go. And okay, I have to have energy when I come home to like do art. I have to have this energy to like do the things I want to do, because if not, the 9 to 5 means nothing. Like, I'm just doing it just to do it. And so I think it's the understanding you got to give something up. You got to work hard in something potentially that you don't care about, or that doesn't even align with your purpose, just potentially just to meet up with your purpose or bump into purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I never think that you're somewhere without coincidence. Like, I think everything is coincidental, right? Like, who knows, you might do that thing that has nothing to do with you just to meet somebody that aligns with the thing that actually you're supposed to be doing. And it could happen that way. But if you don't put yourself out there, put yourself in positions to like even do the thing, nothing happens. So, yeah. And it's I don't know. And I feel like sometimes when I talk, it's from like a space of like an anomaly because people think like, well, that's just how you are. It's like, no, it's not. This is not. I I promise you, this is not how I am. Like, this is learned behavior. Like, it is learned behavior. Because if I decided to be the person that I naturally am, I wouldn't talk to you because I'm shy. I'm so shy. And nobody believes it, but super shy, very to myself. And I knew in order to be the person I wanted to be, I couldn't do that. I had to get on stage. I had to like say something. I had to build that up. And there was lots of times where I got on stage and like it was terrible. But I just knew if I didn't go out of my way to do those things, I wouldn't be the person I wanted to be. And a lot of times people are just, sitting on themselves. They're just not putting themselves in positions to actually accomplish the things. And I feel like it's it turns into maybe it's not meant for me or like maybe I'm supposed to be doing something else or whatever the case may be. It's just like how many times did you actually try?
Yeah.
How many times did you put yourself in a position that was gonna like change that situation? Or how many solutions did you come up with? Like, you know, it's a lot. So
Yeah. Something that came up for me as you were talking, I just wanted to know, like, what is the difference, if there is one? Like, do you feel like there's a difference between MaryGold and Denisha?
absolutely. Yes, I do. Two totally different people. I feel like there's a time where um, people who know me as Denisha, and then there's people who know me as Mary. And like those people know two totally different people. And it's so crazy because I feel like the people who know me as Mary think that I'm very destructive. They think that I'm very like this, I don't have no rules to life, or like I don't know what they think. But it's like so far from like the truth. And I think when like I have a few people that I've met through music that have become like some of my closest friends, and they're just like, "Oh, you cook? Oh, you do this? Oh, you do that? Oh, you like being at home?" Like, yes, I do. I don't like going outside that much. Like, I'm very homebody. I was raised in a certain way, like with certain type of people in a certain household, that I hold those traditions and morals and values very dear to me. So that's just how I operate.
It's funny that you use the word destructive because, like, I think when I think of Marigold prior to like getting to know you, I think the word that came up for me was like punk. As I got to know you, I was like, you are completely opposite of Marigold, but that's dope that you're able to turn that on and off. Because people tell me that about like podcasting. Like I could be like the quietest, shyest person in the room, and as soon as this microphone is on, it's just like I'm on.
Yeah. I think it's so interesting. I think I've used Mary to live out certain parts of me that don't fit in my normal life. Uh, to the point where it's just like all the things like that I wasn't able to do younger. I just kind of pushed through this like persona of like a person that, dang, I think that that person is pretty cool. Like I wouldn't be that person in real life or like on a daily basis, but it feels freeing to allow myself um to be able to make these decisions on like like through a temporary basis. And it's so interesting because I feel like people like the mystery of that. Like people like to engulf themselves in I don't know, I guess like different types of personas or personas that they feel like they are also relatable to that they can't necessarily be on their day to day. And I think that that's just what Mary represents. It's just like very much of a freeing freedom in a sense. And yeah, and I feel like that's just what I wanted to push, freedom. Like you could be whoever you wanted to be, or you could do whatever you want to do. Like you shouldn't be judged on the decisions that you make or the choices you make, as long as you're being a good person.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it was just a way for me to like communicate, like I don't know, just like my thoughts that didn't necessarily fit in my normal life, my regular life. I don't know.
No, that
But
makes sense. That makes
yeah.
sense. And you know, something else that's coming up for me right now is just like, how do you give yourself the space to, like I said, you're able to turn that on and be MaryGold and be the musician, but then you're able to like go do art. And, we talked a little earlier about like pivoting and, to be in a place where people are like looking for music for you, wanting music for you, and to say, nah, I'm actually feeling something else and I'm gonna
Yeah.
focus somewhere else. Like, how do you give yourself the freedom to do that?
I think it's been a struggle for me because I do have a sense of like wanting to please people. Um, but I think I've come to the understanding that this journey through art, music has always been about me. And it's one of the only times that I make things about me. Um, because I feel like I'm a very selfless person, just on my day to day. So when I do music, when I'm doing art, like this is for me. This is like my way of putting myself first. Um, and I have to honor what that looks like, or you're not gonna get the things that you admire about me the most. So I have to be very like conscious about what that looks like, and the voices that I hear within myself, the little voice, and me really listening to myself so I can be the person that I need to be for not only myself but for those who are also inspired by my work. It's like everything kind of flows together. So the art inspires the music is inspired by the life I live. Whether I'm being MaryGold or whether I'm being Denisha, or just the day-to-day interactions with like the people I love, the people I come in contact with. It's just an authentic journal of just like who I am. And to me, from my, experiences, that's what resonates most with the people who listen to my music. So if that's the case, then I have to honor myself, because if I don't, it's not going to resonate. It's not going to feel the same. You're not going to get the same feeling when um, I release the thing. Um, it's going to just kind of be, it's just kind of going to mesh with everything else that's happening. So I got to make sure that I'm good, because the art isn't going to be good if I'm not
Yeah,
good.
that's real.
So like that's just my whole thing. Like just it's really about me. So
Yeah.
um and I understand like the conversation of people who say, like the music's for the people, the music, but it's just like I don't see myself in a place where I'm consistently giving to others, and in return, like I'm just kind of like on the back end. Uh so art music is where, yes, is probably one of the few places I put myself first. And I would say even throughout like my career, people find it really hard to work with me in the music space. And now in the art space too.
Why do you think
But
that is?
because I put myself first.
Mm,
And it's because here I have boundaries. Here I'm not going to let you tell me who I am. Here I'm not going to let you tell me what to do, because it's mine. And as long as it's mine, you have no say. Now, if you want to help, you're going to listen to me. Like, you're going to hear what I got to say. Like, you're going to hear what makes me feel comfortable. And if you don't like that, then we shouldn't do anything together. You don't understand me the way I need you to. So
yeah.
there's no way you can help me. And people are very offended by that. Like, I've had conversations where it's just like, you want creative direction? Don't want to work with you then. Like, and it's because like I give in every other like, you want to come to dinner? I will serve you food. Like, I will, like, you won't have to do anything. I will wash every dish. Like, you can come and stay. Like, hey, like, whatever. What do you need? Like, hand and foot, right? But here is like mine. It's like
Yeah.
it's where I get very possessive over the things that like I do, and I musically, artistically, and it's because it's me. Like, when I go out on the stage, it's me putting my emotions and my mental on the line. So I can't allow anyone to have control over that.
Yeah.
Like, because you're not the one out there. Like, you're not the one being vulnerable. Like, you don't have to deal with the consequences of telling your truths and things like that. So I get very like, sorry, not this one. Sorry. I don't know. And a lot of people, I rub people wrong. But
Mhm.
it's a thing. And I'm not sorry about it either. And I feel like people who understand, they get it. And
Yeah.
people who don't, it's just like, we could still be friends, but we can't work here. So
And I receive that as you, like, really just trusting yourself and your ideas. I feel like I'm the same way, like, when I have an idea and I'm clear on it, like, it's hard for me to receive somebody else's idea that isn't as clear as me. Like, I've and at the same time, I've had people that have given me things and it may bring something up in me, and I ask myself, like, am I pushing against this for control, or am I pushing against it? Am I resisting this because I might need to go there? And sometimes I do need to go there, but a lot of times it's like people give ideas without even having their own clarity on it. So it's like, if you're not clear, it's not gonna sell me on wanting to receive that idea.
absolutely. I feel the same too. Like, I'm always going to weigh, or I'm always going to think about what you said. But if I come to you with an idea, it's because my idea is crystal clear.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just the type of person I am. Like, my ideas are clear. The thing about people that keeps me, especially in this space, music, especially in music, that keeps me from taking their ideas is because I truly don't know if you know who I am. And I think that that's one thing that consistently comes up for me, because like, there's like the idea of me, and then there's actually me. And I feel like when people push their own ideas on you or their own perceptions, like, it's really important whether or not they see you. Like, because if you don't see me, then you just want me to be someone that you want me to be. And I think that for me, that's always been an issue, um, with people wanting to shape my identity because they think that they know better for me than I do. And I've come to the understanding and the security of understanding, like, I know what's best for me, and I trust me. I trust me the most. And I feel like when you don't trust yourself, you do allow people to like direct you in ways that you don't feel comfortable. Um, and I'm just at a place where it's just like, look, if this doesn't work out and I got to try this for like the next 10 years to get it done the way I wanted to do it, I'm completely fine with that. And I think it's because like, I'm not in it for the end result. I'm in it for the experience. Like, I'm in it for the people I meet. I'm in it for the interactions that I have. I'm in it for the lessons that I learned. So I don't care if it takes me 20 years to get to the execution. Like, um it's not really the phase of the process that mattered the most to me.
Yeah.
So
And I think what's dope, something that I'm learning to do, and it sounds like what you're doing is also like just creating like what this journey is for you and what success is for you, as opposed to like what's been sold to us as this idea of success. And I'm curious to know, like, what advice would you give to like the creatives that are listening about just how to define their own success?
Mm. I feel like it's always important to go with your initial feeling of what feels good. Um, when I was younger, I always wanted to live in like a shipping container home and have like a little farm, like nothing too crazy. Like I didn't want to live like a crazy lifestyle. Um, but that was what I wanted for me. But when I would tell other people that's what I wanted, they would think I was crazy. Like they were like, "You're gonna be happy in that?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be happy. Like this is what I want." And I feel like as time goes on with people, like you allowing people to like get to you, you start considering and like rethinking what your life looks like, right? And then responsibilities start coming in. And those responsibilities start to change with that initial understanding of like the lifestyle that you wanted. It'll start to change it. And I feel like I wish that I didn't allow people to change the way I saw life for me. Like, and of course, like there's things that are gonna come into, your life that's gonna like alter how you feel about a thing. But let it alter how you feel because it's genuinely how you feel, not because people sound more logical than what you think. And I've never been logical. I've never been logical in my life. Like, and I think that listening to how like people demonize like the dreamer mentality or people demonize like you not being logical. I think hearing that and like understanding it through growing up made me shift how I think about life a little bit. And I feel like I wish I didn't do that. Like I wish I should have just like stuck to like my own mentality no matter how unrealistic it felt to other people. Because like I feel like things that are unrealistic matters to the person. Like it's not universal. It's not a universal thing, right? Like and I feel like that's just the most important thing. It's just like know you, like know what you want. It doesn't matter how unrealistic it is. Like I got a friend right now, right? And me and my friends we talk about it all the time of how like LA, like moving to LA is so expensive. Like, that's a logical thought. It is
Yeah.
expensive, right? I have a friend right now who works 2 days a week. 2 days a week and she lives in LA. And she's not rich or anything, but she lives a great comfortable life in LA. Like she doesn't overextend herself. She doesn't do any of those things. And what we would think we need to move to LA and what she thought she needed to move to LA completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for her, it was such a realistic thing and everybody around her is just like, "You're not gonna make it 6 months. You're not gonna da 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 da." She's like going on 2 years living in LA.
Damn.
Fine, fine. But it's really like, what do you think? Like, what's
Uh-huh.
your reality? Because your reality could be completely different from other people's. And as long as you allow people to like kind of like chip away at your thoughts with logic, it's just like the moment like things can start shifting like out of your control, out of your like I didn't want and later on you realize like, dang, I didn't want that. Like that's not really what I wanted. So I feel like it's really important to have your own like understanding of what possibility is or what possibility means. Because it's different for everyone.
Yeah. One more question for this segment, then we'll move into the
Okay.
next segment. But what advice would you give to the person that is just, I guess, afraid to explore their creativity? I think so many people think in order to be a creative, you have to pursue it professionally, but just to sit and just draw or just make a song and just create.
I feel like it's so easy to give somebody some advice, right? Like, and say, you should just do this. But I understand, like, there are real, like, mental blockages that will stop a person from doing what the next person might feel like is simple. Um, and I think even I struggle to tell my friends in my day-to-day life, like, giving them encouragement to, like, get them up and moving and doing things, that could potentially put fear in their lives or put fear in their mind. And I feel like sometimes you just gotta do it on autopilot. Like, um, and it's easier said than done. But I think it's just showing up and just doing the thing. Not even thinking about it. Like, don't even think about it. Don't even think about the outcome. Don't think about sharing it on social. Don't think about it going anywhere. It's just something just between, if you're drawing, the paper and you, whatever you're doing, journaling, starting that podcast or whatever the case may be. It's just like, you don't have to share it with anyone. It could just be a thing that sits in your room or it stays on your computer. Like, nobody has to know. And I feel like that's the first initial step. It's just the act of doing the thing that you really want to do. Um, and I feel like if you build habit of doing that thing, you will start to get comfortable with it. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to feel comfortable sharing it. That's a completely different thing. But at least you're building the muscle of doing the thing that you are most afraid of. And it's just a start. And it's so cliche to say because I'm pretty sure everybody has the same answer. But but it's the truth. It's like you just have to start and do the thing. And I used to like just fantasize about life um without me doing music. Like, I really wanted to do music so bad. And a lot of people told me I couldn't sing, but I was just like, but what would my life be like if I just never do this thing? Like, would I be okay? Like, I don't want to, go away from this world thinking that I could have done this thing like that, that could change my life because I was scared of, like, opening my mouth or singing or whatever the case may be. So visualize what your life would be like if you just never do the thing. Like, would you be content with what that looks like? I hope not, right? Like, I hope not. So, but yeah.
That's dope. All right. This next portion of the podcast is called Five Questions of Freedom, brought to you by Feel Free to Feel Free. You can answer these questions any way you like.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna give them to you and you answer them with whatever context you take from it. But the first one is the woods or the beach?
The beach. I live on the beach now. I need to go to the beach more, actually, but the beach for sure.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Painting or music?
Music.
Okay. That's what's up.
If I had to answer honestly, music for sure. Like, I paint when there's blockages in music. Like, if somebody tell me no in music, I'm gonna go paint. Just know that. So,
That's
like,
real.
if you see me painting, it's because somebody told me no.
That's hilarious. Oh man. Third question is, if you could work on music with anybody, who would it be? And why?
Mm. If I could work on music with anybody, hmm, who would it be? Okay, so if I could work on music with anybody, it would be people who are scared to make music.
I love that.
Mm. And people who, like, just can't, like, they want to do it, but they just can't see themselves, or anyone who's just like, I did it, but I can't do it anymore. Like, that's who I would work with, because I feel like we get so caught up in our heads about doing it that, we can't see outside of that. And I feel like I was talking to Currency about this, or he doesn't really talk. He's like a one word, like one sentence through text type of person. And I asked him, I was like, do you experience like writers or like blockages? And he was just like, no. And I was just like, that's the superpower, because I don't either.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel so much alike with him, in the sense of like, we could probably go right now and make 10 songs and not think about it at all. And I feel like there's not a lot of people who could do that. Like, it's like a small percentage, right? I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know the percentages.
But you know what? And I think that comes from a level of like just not holding yourself back. Cause I think I used to be one of those people that get blocked and stuff like that. And I think
Yeah.
once and I'll be honest, my partner was the one that told me like and he wasn't necessarily talking about me, but he was just talking in general. And he was just like, all that like, I gotta make music at night and I can't have this and have that. He was like, that's such bullshit. Like people just gotta make
Yes.
music. And I heard that and I received it because it was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's so true. Cause I used to talk that shit. Oh, it has to be daytime for me to. Oh, it doesn't. Like,
It
just make the fucking
doesn't.
song and like,
I'm telling you. It doesn't. It don't have to be any of those things, but we get so in our head. Like, there's a time I used to feel like I can't make a song unless I'm high. Like, that's a lie. Like, that is the biggest lie that I told myself. But I think it's those little things that we tell ourselves, the things that we need in order to do the thing, or the thing that we don't need, or whatever the case may be. We do it to the point where it keeps us still, and it keeps us from doing nothing. And
yeah,
like, that's one thing, is just like, I don't deal with that blockage. Like, it hasn't been a thing for me. So it's just like, I would love to like help people understand that it doesn't have to be a thing for you either.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah,
That's
that's
dope.
who I would make music with.
I love that because I feel that like, and I think that's why I do the work that I do with the artist way, just to kind of show people like
Mhm.
you
Fire.
can do literally whatever you want to do. Like it's every song is not gonna be a great song. Every painting is not gonna be a great painting. Like just do it and you'll
Right.
find that one that speaks to you, or you know,
Absolutely.
whatever's
Absolutely.
whatever's supposed to be out in the world will be out in the world how it's
Absolutely.
supposed to
That's
be.
how I feel. Mhm.
That's dope. My fourth question is, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Hmm. I would tell myself that the people that tell you that you can't honestly don't know you. Like, and don't listen at all. Like, they don't know you. So you're capable of so much, and like, you just don't even know it. Like, like, I don't even think my younger self understood, like, at all, like, the potential that I had. Like, I didn't know what I cared. Like, I didn't know anything. Like, like, you're only as good as your environment. Like, so if nobody's in your environment is doing things that pique your interest, or gain your attention, nobody's doing music, nobody's doing art, or whatever the case may be, like, you just don't know. Like, and I feel like my younger self was just kind of like, I don't know, like, to the point where it's just like, well, whatever happens, happens. I'm not gonna force anything. I'm not gonna, um, but I feel like through that, right, a lot of people saw that within me as like, she don't know what she's doing. She's like, she's lost. Like, like, what's going on with her? Like, in a sense, and like, to the point where I don't think people actually saw my light, because there was nothing illuminating me. Like, so there wasn't much light, you know what I'm saying? So I think just, like, just when people tell you can, just know you can. Like, it's not even that serious. Like, don't even trip. Like, that's what the advice I would give my younger self.
That's
Mm.
dope. And the last question is, what is a reminder you want to give to a future version of yourself?
Reminder. I'm going to remind myself that it's okay to have a life that doesn't align with others. It's okay to have a life that doesn't make people feel comfortable. It's really not about them. It's about you and um, what you want to accomplish and what, how you see your life panning out. So how do people feel? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you ain't got to check in with no one. Like, you get an idea, you want to call like 3 people and say, "What do you think about this?" Like, that's not for you. You don't have to do that. And I think that that's something that definitely I need to tell myself now, and I'm pretty sure I need to tell myself in the future. It's just like, the opinions of those it doesn't really matter what they think about the things that you want to accomplish, because at the end of the day, in my opinion, like 7 times out of 10, they're not going to see it. They're not going to get it until you get it and you execute. So, like a lot of times people get, upset about people not seeing, their vision or not believing in them or whatever the case may be. And it's just like, it's not for them too. It's for you too. You got to believe in yourself. You have to do the thing that, lets you know that you are actually the person that you think you are. So yeah, it's like, you don't have to check in. Like, your life is your life, and you should trust yourself enough to know that you're gonna do the right thing, and that yeah, you're gonna make people proud, and you don't have to call them and remind them of the progress you've made.
That's beautiful. Shoot. Can you let the people know where they can find you?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at Museum, Muzeume. Right now, my profile is private, but it's because I'm going to start beta testing some of my music through my private account, um, which I'll be sharing publicly in the future somewhere else. So, but I think it's like, I want to cultivate community through music, and you know for people who have been following me for a while, who probably follow me because of music, like, I want them to be able to really experience the journey of me making music in a way that feels personal. So,
That's
yeah.
dope.
hmm
Shoot. Well, thank you for coming on the show. I really do appreciate this. Like, this felt like a great way to
Thank
start the
you.
week.
Yes. Yeah, I appreciate you so much. You're actually so inspiring to me. Like,
I
today,
appreciate that.
I was reading one of Tabitha Brown's book. It's about like doing 30 things different every day or something like that. And the first thing is like, do something fearless. So I was like, I'm talking to Mike today. I'm actually, after this, gonna go to the park, sit and record the first piece of like my podcast.
That's
Cause
fire.
so OD to you in the park when when
That's
we
dope.
used to record. So I'm gonna try that today. See how it goes. It might not be perfect, but I'm gonna try it.
I just love the fact that you even doing it. Like,
Yeah.
give yourself at least 2 minutes to just see what comes up, and you
Okay.
might end up doing 20, you know?
All right. I'm gonna try. We'll see. I'm nervous. But yeah, I'm doing it today. So
That's what's up. Well, if y'all listening, make sure when you finish this episode, you go do something fearless in your journey, something
yes.
creative, and yeah, send it to us. We want to hear it, see it, tag us on Instagram.
Yes. I
We
want
would
to see
love
it.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank y'all so
Thank you
much for
so
tuning.
much.
Of course, thank
That's all.
you. No, it's all
Thank you.
good. It's all good. And thank y'all so much for tuning in. This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go. Peace. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this week's episode of The Art of Letting Go. If you like what you heard, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Also, leave us a review. Please subscribe to the newsletter. Also, we love to hear from y'all. So there's a link in the description. You can send us questions. You can send us comments. Whatever you want to send me, and I will respond. So I'm thankful to everybody for tuning into the show. We also have a Patreon if you would like to subscribe to that. We give out exclusive content, just a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot going on in the Art of Letting Go universe. And I appreciate y'all for being a part of it. Thank you for listening. See you on the next one.
Hey y'all, my name is Dana.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we are your Hella Cheese Made podcast host. We wanted to make sure that we let you all know where you can come and follow us. So we do have a Patreon channel where you can watch all of our visual content, but we also are across many streaming platforms as well.
Yes, so feel free to go ahead and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all of our social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube.
That's right. And you can follow us at Hella Cheese Made Podcast on all those platforms like Instagrams and Thread, as well as YouTube. We are looking forward to having all of you join us in the Familia, and we hope that you are listening and enjoying our show. Thank you so much for your support. Bye. Familia.